ובואי תעשה איפה. He starts by saying, it's not only because there's other dinim here also in this simon. And being that it's Rosh Hashanah is a Shchodesh, so normally on Rosh Chodesh you say Hallow. But he lets you know now that ain't no Hallow Rosh Hashanah. We don't say Hallow on Rosh Hashanah, V'yem Kippurim, even though it's Yontiv, but we don't say Hallow. Lefi, שהקדוש ברוך הוא יושב על כיסא דין, בספר חיים, בספר מסים, פסוקים ופונים. ואיך יהיה Shira? So how could you say Shira on such a day? ואויסם אומרים תילם בכל יום. Now, Tillim is a part, in Tillim is Hallow. Over there by Kufyud Gimel, over there is Hallow. So he said, those who say Tillim b'chol yom, v'ira lahem b'Rosh Hashanah, v'yom Kippurim, Amiras Hallow, mutarim loyma kedalkon. They don't have to skip that over. Kiva she'ein omer oisadera shira, rak dera tchina uvakosha. Tillim you usually say, you need something, you want something, so it's a tchina bakosha, means you're asking for the Eibishter. V'naigan loyma v'inu makenu al ha-seder. Al-seder means according to the Allah base. V'yesh shemedalgan b'Rosh Hashanah avinu makenu chatonu v'panecha. The first avinu makenu, when we sing the niggin, so before that we start the chatonu v'panecha, then goes Ein Malach Alota. So they skip the first piece. Lefi she'einem vidu b'Rosh Hashanah. Why not? If we will say vidu, in other words, that we sinned, so the Mekatrik, the Sultan will say, oh, you see, Haidos Baldin, they're even admitting it. I don't have to do anymore. Avo loyme psukim sheyesh v'machas chayit en kapeda ki v'she'ein derech vidu. If you say a ton of you're saying that we sinned. So you're admitting. It's not just not talking about the doing of a sin. You're talking about what you did. So that's playing into the prosecution. Vafilu vidu mamish ein lemnoya b'shas hatkiyas. Now, you know, in the Sidurim, by each group, so then it steht dort Yizvada B'Lachash. So Yizvada B'Lachash, it seems is more like in Machshava, not actually saying it. So that's he's saying that I feel. Vafilu vidu mamish einum noya b'shas kiyas she'asoten hu mu'uvav. The Gemara says that the reason why we blow there's different reasons, but one of the reasons why we blow the Seder here, Tkiyah, the Shvarim Truah, is the Arvev is a Sultan, to mix up the Sultan. So, he's busy with himself. The prosecutor is like off guard. And being that he's off guard, so you can say Vidu. You're not afraid that something will come out of it.
We say vidu, no.
Es steht Yizvada B'Lachash. If we look at the Marza, some say Chassidim used to say that, what are you looking for?
About the kids then.
No, it could be. Chassidim used to say that Yisbad Barachish means to think of the Rebbe. As they have gehad.
Oh, so we don't say, the Baal Tekeh doesn't say...
You don't say anything. Say Yisbad you look not
Yeah, between the Tekeh.
Say Yisbad Barachish.
And what does that mean?
So that it means a lot of things, but I'm telling you, Chassidim say that it means to think of the Rebbe. Kach Shemaiti.
But you don't say halal, but then they say we do all these good things. We eat this because of this. We eat this, everything should be good. So why do you say halal? That if you say halal, so it will be a good year also. If you're thanking Hashem, thank Hashem a whole year. What's the difference?
Staying state also because we don't want the Sultan to know when Rosh Chodesh is. That after Rosh Hashanah, the hidden day. I once said a drasha that what's the pshat that the kiyas is the Abba v'sa Sultan. What does it mean to mix up the Sultan? So I had an American crowd in the show, so I gave a mushal from a baseball game. In a baseball game, they know there's 9 players on the team, and there's some players that are very good hitters, and there's some players that are a little schwach. So sometimes you set up the lineup. You set up according to the comes a mode. If you have bases loaded, and comes a very good hitter. So sometimes you walk him. You know, you don't want to take a chance. Maybe he'll hit a home run. So I said that what is Kia is the very good hitter, and Shvarim is a sabrachana. But it's not entirely broken, and Trua is entirely broken, and then comes again at Kia. So in other words, I mean to say that that Kia is they want to get to the Sultan wants to get to the Shvarim and the Trua, but you don't let him get the Shvarim and Trua because he has the Kia standing on both sides and protecting him. He has the strong hitter. So Mela, that's Ma'avda the Sultan. He knows he has no case against the Kia. Kia has a clean record. So, but he's looking for the Shvarim and the Trua. But the Kia and it stands on both sides of him and protects him and doesn't let the Sultan get to him. So that's why Ma'avda Sultan has to figure out what he could do to get. That's an American drush. Tzorach goyma slach umachal mechei v'haveh chataseinu upsheinu. In other words, he's saying there's 3 things. There's actually 2 things. There's chataseinu and psheinu. So chataseinu and psheinu really both mean the same thing. It means things that we did wrong. But the word chataseinu is more like a shogeg. And psheinu is more like a pesha, like a mazid. So shogeg is not as bad as mazid. So therefore, you have to be careful in the order to say srach umachal, forgive, chataseinu means the things that we did b'shogeg, and b'she'enu things that would go remezet. So he says, Ki mechila gedola mislicha. Mechila is greater than slicha. It says the same. Upesha is goydel mechatas. What does it mean, mechila and slicha? Mechila and slicha means that it's found in Moshe, let's say, if someone is in jail. So there's we know we have a president today that he freed a lot of people from jail. But there's a difference how he free them. There's commuting a jail, and there's pardon. Commuting means that it's not totally forgiven, and pardon means that it's wiped away. So that's slicha and mechila. So he's saying that's what you have to say, slach umachal. In other words, because like we went before, that first you must follow for the lower thing, the easier thing, and then you go to the more difficult thing that you want to get. So that's why you say slach umachal. Mechei b'haber. Mechei b'haber means erase it. It's erased. If something is erased, it's no longer there. And then you say, Chataseinu and Psha'enu. Why? So he says, because Chet is a lesser infraction than Pesha. Like I said, one is Shaygin and one is Mezid. The Tzorach Avak is Tchil al-Amud, V'achakach, Moishe v'Hailach. First you ask for the lighter thing, which once you're successful, then you start to go to more difficult thing. Ein tzorach loimer roya gezar b'neshima achas. In Avinu Makenu, there's kra roya gezar dinenu. So he's saying that the words roya gezar, you should say it together. It's not the roya gezar. We say it's separate. It means the bad part of the gezerah. So he's saying, why is that? The hainu sheyikra hu yizbarach haraya shenigzera umasha nisha b'gezerah yeh l'rachmum. In other words, we're asking the Eibusha to take away the bad part of what's. Some people say kra roya, and then gezar separate. She's saying no, you should say kra roya gezar dinenu. Ein omer Avinu Makenu b'Shabbos. Shabbos we don't say Avinu Makenu. Mipnei she'oso l'tvaya tzracha b'Shabbos. V'afilu b'erev Shabbos b'mincha is also ein omer Moshe. I think the dig, what he means, erev Shabbat mincha, I think by Yom Kippur, I think they do say it by Shabbos. I don't remember. I gotta look at them also. Rosh Hashanah, Marichem b'piyutim u'b'tfilos. Ad chatzos hayom. There's a lot of pieces. The Baba Shemalsa is quite short. Left out a lot of them. But Marshall, we used to have downstairs over here, there was a minyan. There used to be an Ashkenaz minyan. They called it a koil, I don't know what it is, but it was on Montgomery Street. And over there, they used to rent, or Benji Stark gave them permission to daven downstairs over here. And they would come in 7 o'clock in the morning, and they go till 3 o'clock. We start 10 o'clock, And we go till maybe 2 o'clock, and they would start 7 all the way till 3 o'clock.
We're lucky. We're lucky. We're lucky.
Well, it's a different, because they say a lot.
7 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Whoa.
They say a lot.
They don't need also. They don't need also.
In all the Litvishi, in all the Litvishi yeshiva sheminyan, so to say, they start Shani start early in the morning. But they say a lot of things that we don't say.
They make kiddush before tkiyas.
What was that?
They make kiddush before tkiyas. Many of these.
They make kiddush before tkiyas. That's a separate thing. That's a separate thing, but that's even if they would start 9 o'clock.
That's very long davening, so that must work right.
Because their concern is that they don't eat before davening, and b'meila, it becomes a question of a tonus. If it's after chatzos, it's already a tonus. So in order to avoid a tonus, they make kiddush before the kiyas.
And no one eats before the kids.
We also don't eat before tkiyas. But they ask before tkiyas.
I hate to disappoint you, but Nishtan has manim. Okay? They don't eat, they drink, Nishtan has manim. Shteitak, they shouldn't eat before the kiyas. It's a chibub mitzvah.
It doesn't say not to drink. It said not to eat.
Oh, yeah, so they don't drink also. And they don't drink, so it's a question of a tonus. So therefore they make kiddush before the kiyas. She says, "Rosh Hashanah marichem b'piyutim b'betfilas ad chatzos hayom l'chol ha'paros at least v'yim chal b'Shabbos ein laharach yoseh mechatzos haShabbos mechatzos because you have to eat Suda Shabbos. Ava b'chol yochel laharach yoseh. B'medvar amurim b'piyutim b'betfilas ava b'nigunim ein laharach yoseh mechatzos ki mishur Yom Tov. Now, I don't know if nigunim means the shul could have a chazan, and some big chazan. That's the whole thing that people come to the shul to hear the chazan. That's a separate thing. Mitziyin shnei sefer Torah. You take out 2 sefer Torahs. Berishan, in the first one, Kaiden Chamisha, Min Vashem Pokad Asara, Ad Parshas HaKedah. Now, why do you read Vashem Pokad Asara? The Fisha Rosh Hashanah Nifkad Asara. Sarah, she was a Akara, Engel Bulad, and Levish remembered her. V'yimu Shabbos, Kaiden by Shiva. Then you have the Shabbos, we have 7 kruyim, so we call 7 people.
Wasn't Yitzchak born on Pesach?
Hashem Pokad Asara means that she became pregnant.
Okay.
And not that she gave birth. And the Gemara says that Sarah, Chana, and Rachel all gave birth. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Listen, as today is Chafov, so I reminded myself of what from the Bali Ruma. He asked the question, why in the Musaf there's Malchiyos, Zechronis, and Shofars, right? So in the Zechronis, we mentioned over there, V'gamach Noach, you remember Noach, to save him from the main Noach. He said, how does Noach come in on Rosh Hashanah? So from all the things that you want the Eibush to remember, so he says, how's it coming on Rosh Hashanah? So he says, because the Gemara says that on Rosh Hashanah, Nifkeda, Sarah, Rachel, and Chana. Right? So he says, when Noah built the teva, the Eibishter gave instruction how the teva should be made. The height of the teva
300.
how much was it?
300. Shleishmeis.
No, the Eirach was 300. The Eirach was 300,
Shleishim.
and the height
30.
was 30, and the Reichav
300.
was 50.
The length was 300. Yeah.
And then she says, why the Eibishter give these figures? I mean, must have some reason why he gave these figures. So he says, the Breivik says, if you take the names of Sarah, Rachel, and Chana, there's an interesting thing. Each one has two letters, which are also in the others, and there's one letter that only they have. L'mashal, you take Sarah.
Shin.
So Sarah, you have a shin, a reish, and a hey. So you have a reish also in Rachel, and you have a hey in Chana. If you take the name Rachel, so you have a reish in Sarah, and a ches in Chana, and a lamed that you don't have over there. And you take the name Chana, so you have a ches in Rachel, and you have a hey in Sarah, and you have a nun that the others don't have. So these three measurements are connected. Sarah that's the 300. That's the length of the table, and the Rachel is 30. Is the width of the table, the height, and the nun 50 is the height of the table. And he brings over there the statement in Zoya. When we learn Chumash, B'chodesh Hashvi is they saw the Hari Ararat. So Rashi has a whole cheshbon. Is that cheshbon or is that But the Zoya said that's Rosh Hashanah. And Chodesh Hashvi was Rosh Hashanah. So because they were nifked on Rosh Hashanah, therefore the Tevis Noach has these dimensions to remember these three women. I add to that, this is my own addition, that what is the idea of these three women? These three women is a past, and a present, and a future. In other words, Sarah was the first, and she gave birth to Yitzchak, who was the first Jewish child that was born, and Rachel represents Yosef, who was the Golus had to do with Yosef, and Chana has to do with Shmuel and Mashiach, which is the future. So the Eibishter wanted to show Noach that even though the world is being destroyed, it's not the end of the world. There will be a future also. So it fits in, according to this here, why we read on Rosh Hashanah about Sarah and Rachel and Chana. Chana is the Haftarah, is from Shmuel, the Master with birth of Shmuel. She says over here, let's see again, Zion. Matziyah Shnei Sefer Torah. Berishin Kairem Chamisha. Min Vashem Pocket the Sarah at Parshas HaKedah. Why is that? Lefisha Rosh Hashanah Nifkeda Sarah. Ve'im Hu Shabbos Kairem by Shiva. Because on Shabbos you have to have 7 aliyahs. After Kairem the Sefer Torah Sheni, the Parshas Pinchas, b'chodesh Hashvi. That's what talks about Rosh Hashanah. After B'tchilas Sefer Shmuel, the beginning of Sefer Shmuel, which is the story about Elkanah with Chana and the birth of Shmuel. Ad v'yorem keren Mashiachai. Ufi shegam Chana nifkada b'Rosh Hashanah. That's why we take Haftarah from Shmuel.
It doesn't say the second day.
I don't know why.
Second day is from the socket.
Still.
V'yesh mekaymes shenoig alikas hatekeya miminyan chamisha olam Sefer Torah. V'yesh mekaymes noigen likras gam hamaspala musaf v'chen b'yom kippurim. Steht up in Svarim that that's only if they daven for free, or if they're both shofar for free. But if he's davening and is getting paid, so then you don't have to give him an aliyah.
So the aliyah is for payment. The aliyah is for payment.
Not the aliyah is for payment. If he deserves an aliyah. Im yesh tinek omo b'Rosh Hashanah, if there's a bris that comes out on Rosh Hashanah, the child was born 8 days before Rosh Hashanah, ein mamtinik omaylam ad acha gemara tefillah. So you don't wait till after the davening, mishum dezizim makdim lemitzvos. So maybe we want to do it earlier. So when do you do it? Elamal and oisem acha kriyas atayra, kaidem tkiyas shayfa, for shayfa. Lefi shayidei tkiyas shayfa, HaKadosh Baruch Hu zoyka akedus yitzchak. So taiv lismach hamila, which is the bris of Abraham, v'akedus yitzchak, all before Kiyas Shofar. B'medvar mo'mokin shemam b'beis HaKnesses. This is get born if the child is brought to shul, and they make the bris in shul. Avu b'mokin shenoigin lomo kol echad b'beisod, so that must malin oiseh echad yitzim b'beis HaKnesses, because otherwise there'll be a whole complication to everyone should, in the middle of davening, go to the person's house, and then come back to shul, you lose the crowd, so to say. So therefore, you wait till after finish davening.
That's good. Thank you.